Good morning, everybody. Good morning to those of you that are in my group Fuller Cup. If you're watching on my business page, Heather with Whole Connections, or just on my personal profile, thank you for being here. I am super grateful to have you in my life and supporting me along this journey as I build this amazing business of coaching people through what I call the deeper darks or the darkest path of their journey. And people come to me when they're really struggling in their overwhelm of anxieties, probably ramped up, or depression is really at a certain level. And I help them to embrace and learn how to fill their cups back up so that they can then let those ripple effects go to their family, their community, and so on and so forth. So, anyway, thank you for being here with me today. We are on the 64 days of gratitude. This is the other thing I teach. I teach gratitude, values, emotional mastery is my jam. And I use a lot of different modalities like tarot and numerology. Meditation is one of my favorite tools. All of those things are really key to working in an optimal life and filling your cup up and self-care of yourself. And this 64-day journey is just one of those things that I love to do, and I love to share it with all of you. So I thank you for being here. This weekend was an intense weekend for me. It was a busy weekend in my volunteer life. Lots of ups and downs as we navigate this, at least I say, interesting world that we're living in, an economy that we're dealing with. And so my Saturday was grateful for the moon. And I am just learning to tap into the moon energy. I've always thought it was beautiful. I always thought she was so gorgeous, especially when she's full. And I've always loved the crescent moon. And I didn't even know how much energy she already had and how it influenced us, other than I knew the moon influenced our own tide systems here on the earth, but how it really interacts with our own human bodies, our own frequencies, and our own energies, and how interlinked everything is, I'm still just learning it. But I am super grateful that I am now aware of this magnitude of energy that the moon definitely produces. Excuse me, I am so yawny today. I'm so yawny. I don't even know why. And so I'm super grateful for her, but I'm grateful for the fact that she's still out there and that she does influence the earth and the tides and how we are pulled to that and through that energy. I'm grateful for the release and the give that she also provides us as humans in our frequency energy levels. And then on Sunday, and it was such a perfect day to have that Sunday was grateful for memories. And that was the day that we decorated our tree. And we do like individual ornaments every year. And we've been doing it since our kids were born and since me and my husband got together. And so they totally bring up memories of that Christmas or of that year, just something. And I love that. I love that we have the ability to tap into our memories, that we have our ability to tap into them, to utilize them, to feel something that maybe we were missing or we had forgotten about that feeling and emotion. And when that memory arises, either good or bad, we can tap into that emotion to either master it or to figure out how do we get there easier. And that's what memories do. They evoke a lot of things. They can evoke trauma, absolutely. And when that is produced, that's our sign where we're supposed to sort of stop and have a look at this. Why did that feel traumatic again? What was that behind that? How do I go and delineate that memory and trauma feeling? Right? Is it something I need to be carrying anymore? And if it's not something that we're supposed to carry any longer, then we have to learn how to release that to move forward. Because when we keep dragging all the bad of our past, those bad emotions, those really heavy emotions from our past into our present, and thinking that we have to carry them forward to our future, what we're really doing is we're unloading them onto our children or to the next generation. And that's not really great. That's actually not amazing at all. And the world hasn't exactly been unicorns and butterflies all previous to this. And so there's generations of trauma, of heartache, of working hard that is constantly being passed down. And it really is our responsibility as parents, as the generation, to really own our own stuff and find out what it is that we're carrying. Are we carrying something from our parents' past or from their parents' past, or so on and so forth? And is this what we want to have today? And that's what it really means to break that generational trauma gap, is to just really look at, what are we holding on to? Is it really ours? And is it really current for this current situation in which we're living in? And if it's not, then we have to look at that. We have to have the brave tenacity of ourselves to look at those traumas so that we can deal with them in ourselves, so that we're not unloading them to the next generation, because they don't really deserve to carry our trauma for their life, because they have their own experiences that they have to go through. And so when we unload that on them, and a lot of times we do it unconsciously and we're not doing it really maliciously, but it happens when we're doing that and we're giving that for them to carry forward, then that makes their life like little weights on their ankles, and it starts to weigh them down, right? And then they feel that they have to fix or correct the things. So we don't want to do that. That's where generational trauma really needs to start. We need to start healing ourselves so that we're not healing 35 years down the road. They're still going through that healing process. And then today is grateful for our instincts. And whether you agree with me or not, we're all animals. We are all animals. We are human beings. We are animals, and there's animals all over this planet of various forms and functions and things that they do. But we all work together to ensure that this planet is working in an optimal way. And we, as humans, have been a lot more destructive to the planets and harmonies. So the animals like the cats, or the big cats, and the African animals and the ocean animals, they all work in harmony with nature. They all run on a rhythm and a path. And we've tried to change that in courses of, like, through inventions. And granted, we have this high level of intelligence. And so when we utilize our instincts and our intelligence together, which I'm super grateful that we have them, they need to be learned. Personally, let's use it for good. Let's use our intelligence and the instincts that we have, that things aren't going right in the world, to really elevate and change things moving forward. And so I'm super grateful that we have them, and that we have what my kids call their spidey senses, right? When my spidey senses are tingling and telling me that something is wrong. And so we can either call that instinct, intuition, any of that. Then we need to start listening to them, right? And I think you're starting to hear louder voices out there. People are getting louder with their own instincts and their own intuition. And really, it needs to lend you back to going to love, back into that space of gratitude and joy. Because when we can come from that, we are operating within our own standards of what that is for ourselves. And first and foremost, it doesn't matter what anyone outside of you thinks of you, right? There's that own instinct that I love myself. And so if you're constantly looking for someone to tell you you're amazing, then you are not believing it internally. And that's what this gratitude journey is really about, is reconnecting to yourself, to really listen to, what are my instincts? What is my intuition? What are my spidey senses? And are they tingling and telling me something's wrong? Where do I have to look to navigate through that, to find that? And that is the most important thing, I think, that we have as humans, the intelligence to really look at it. Like I said before, in one of my gratitudes, reflection is one of the biggest things that I do on a daily basis. I sit and reflect on the day, and I think, well, when my spidey senses were tingling or my arms were off, what was it that I was thinking about? What was it that I was going to go do? What was it that I had been doing? And maybe this is all our check in for alignment. And it's great, right? And we're going into Christmas. And so why not be grateful for all that we have, instead of looking at all the things that are coming in our way that might be creating the mountain that we don't need to create? And I think that we as humans have naturally been creating as many mountains as possible because then we want to make it seem like everything is really hard and we have to trudge through it. But it's not meant to be that way. Life is not meant to be an uphill battle 24 hours a day, 48 hours a week, like whatever is in a week. I'm not a mathematician. Oh my goodness. But was not meant to be that way. The universe does have our back. The things that we put out are the things that we will receive. Gratitude is just one of them. When you can land in that space of gratitude, when you can love yourself wholeheartedly and reconnect to what is going on for you internally, when you can do that and love yourself, then that love comes back at you from the outside world. When we aren't loving ourselves, when we are inviting in the yucky, we're constantly putting out the yucky, therefore the yucky is returned back to us to show us how we're out of alignment. And that is really instinct. And so lean into your instincts, your intuition, your spidey senses, whatever you want to call them. I am super grateful that we have them because without them, I feel like we would be a whole lot of robotic programming going on, following the day to day to day to day, and not really thinking and feeling into our human existence. And so I'm super grateful that we have these instincts, these animal instincts that kick in when we need them, that are there to protect us when we require them. Outside of that, we can live in love and harmony and balance with the universe, with the earth, with each other. So I hope you had a really great weekend. I hope that you are enjoying the gratitude journey. I will probably won't be doing this again until the new year sometime, and I don't know when that'll be. This may become something that I do in a group with people, and we do it together instead of just here live. But this year I felt that it needed to be shared to the world how much more life can be loved when we live in a state of gratitude. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Bye.